There was a time when Nyasha was truly kind. When she was a child, her laughter was the loudest, and her heart was light like the morning breeze. But life had not been kind to her. When she came of age, Nyasha fell in love with a young farmer named Django. He was strong and hardworking, and his heart belonged only to her. They planned a future together, whispering dreams beneath the great baobab tree. But fate is a cruel thing. One evening, a wealthier man from a neighboring village came with gifts of cattle and fine cloth, asking for Nyasha's hand in marriage. Her parents, eager for a comfortable life, accepted his offer without hesitation. Django was turned away, his pleas unheard. Nyasha's heart withered. She married the wealthy man, but her life became a prison. Though her husband gave her fine clothes and a house larger than any she had known, he gave her no love. He treated her as a possession, speaking to her only when necessary, and never with warmth. Years passed, and her bitterness grew. She watched as other women in the village married for love. She saw them smile, heard their laughter, and it filled her with resentment. If she could not have happiness, why should they? Nyasha learned to wear a mask, a smile that hid her pain. She became known as the village's most charming woman, always ready with a kind word, always listening, always watching. But behind that smile, she carried fire. Whenever she heard good news, the fire stirred inside her, and she whispered poison into the ears of others. To the young bride, be careful, men change. Today, he adores you, but tomorrow, he will see another woman, and you will be nothing. To the farmer who had a good harvest, the gods give today and take tomorrow. Your friend may be jealous of your success, watch your back. To the mother who gave birth to a healthy child, are you sure the child is truly blessed? Many smile at a baby, but some carry the evil eye. Like embers scattered in the wind, Nyasha's words spread. Suspicion grew. Trust crumbled. Friends became enemies. Love soured into doubt. One evening, a stranger arrived in the village. She was cloaked in deep blue robes, her face hidden beneath a hood. Her voice was soft as the evening wind, but her presence carried weight. She walked through the market, listening. She watched the people, studied their faces, and when she reached Nyasha's usual gathering spot, she sat nearby, silent but observing. That day, the village rejoiced. A young woman named Adia, who had long struggled to conceive, was finally with child. There was dancing, singing, and blessings spoken for the growing life in her belly. But as the celebrations continued, Nyasha's fire burned. She leaned close to a group of women and whispered, I heard the child is not her husband's. She spent too many nights alone by the river, who knows what spirits she met there. The women gasped, their joy tainted with doubt. The stranger in the hood turned her head slightly at these words, but she said nothing. That night, as Nyasha prepared for bed, a chilling breeze swept through her hut, though the doors and windows were shut. A whisper called through the air, soft yet piercing. Nyasha, you carry fire in your mouth. And now, it will burn you. A searing pain bloomed in her throat. She clutched her neck, gasping, but no sound came. Her tongue felt heavy, swollen, as though it no longer belonged to her. She staggered outside, her feet unsteady. The village was silent, the moon high above. Desperate, she ran to the well, scooping water to soothe the strange heat in her mouth. But as she tried to speak, flames flickered at her lips. Panic gripped her. She stumbled from house to house, knocking, pleading. But every time she opened her mouth, tongues of fire leapt forth, scorching the ground, singing the air. The villagers awoke to her cries, stepping out of their homes in horror. What is happening to her? Someone whispered. The spirits have cursed her, another murmured. And then, from the crowd, the cloaked stranger stepped forward. She pulled back her hood, revealing a face both ageless and knowing. I am not of your village, but I have seen what you do, she said, her voice like the rustling leaves of an ancient tree. You have carried fire in your heart, setting others' lives aflame with your words. Now, you shall bear the weight of your own destruction. Tears streamed down Nyasha's face, but no plea could leave her lips. Fire cannot be taken back once it spreads, the stranger continued. And neither can words. With that, she turned and walked away, vanishing into the night. Nyasha was left alone. She could not speak without burning. She could not whisper without destruction. The very thing she had used to harm others had become her prison. She fled to the edge of the village, where she built a small hut near the river, far from the people she once called friends. She lived in silence, watching from a distance as the village healed. Without her poison, love returned to marriages. Friendships mended. Trust was rebuilt. And so, whenever a child in the village asked why they must always speak kindly, the elders would tell the story of Nyasha. Because words are like fire, once they spread, they cannot be taken back.